What is up, everybody? Back again with another video in the How Strong series, and today I'll be doing a extremely powerful character on the How Strong series, a Skyfather level being. Even if we're absolutely lowballing to the absolute least, a being that is a fusion character between some of the most powerful characters in Marvel history. Started off being a fusion of only characters like Magneto and Professor X due to the psionic nature. He's a being of pure psionic energy that has a physical body, of course, with physical armor. He later on got a fusion of more mutants like Franklin Richards, and Nate Gray, another being that's like in the star level at least, man. But I'm gonna start off the feat run with him, of course, like in his normal state at first, and then he got more powerful later on. Long story short, I don't want to get into his backstory because I want to get right to the point because you guys like when I get right to the point. Well, Professor X and Magneto have had their little differences, but in the most part, they do agree because they are similar to Malcolm X and Martin Luther King in real life, right? So Professor X tried to go in Magneto's head and do some type of mind agenda changing type of thing, and it kind of backfired and created an entirely new entity known as Onslaught. But how strong is Onslaught? Well, let's get right into it, shall we? Being Onslaught, he has the powers of Magneto and Professor X. He can like mind mess up people, destroy people's minds. He can use magnetism, telekinesis, flight, energy projection, blast power. All the main powers you can think of, he pretty much got it. Making energy constructs, blah, 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 blah. Using his powers to tear apart the X-Men mansion and mutants inside and getting hurt and stuff. Using his telekinesis or psionic energy blast to kill several superhumans. Yeah, he wrecked some people in his issues. Of course, he can fire psionic energy. Let's talk about the fact that he actually has telepathy. He was able to do something that is ridiculous, like possess Thor, a powerhouse level being, black hole level being concretely. Please note that a powerful telepath like Emma Frost couldn't do the same thing to Thor. With the Phoenix Force, by the way. So yeah, he does have some strong resistance, yet Onslaught can still do it. Please note that the Phoenix Force is a Skyfather level being plus, even in just the Dark Phoenix state. But this Emma Frost only had 1/5 of the Phoenix Force, but still, that's still impressive as heck. He controls like this very large army of Sentinels. So you're telling me he can control technological things that are not actually like living or organic or bioorganic? Can cast very convincing illusions, evidently. When he wants to not be bothered, he can just put large groups of people to sleep. So tell me why Onslaught is able to affect people even when he's in a completely different universe or an alternate dimension. Onslaught was in a negative zone, but yet he was able to affect 616 Steve Rogers' dreams while he's not even in the same universe, aka another dimension. That's kind of crazy. Messes with the emotions and minds of multiple X-Men members who have been trained to have resistance to, psionic blast because Professor X likes to prepare them for the worst. If it's not enough, he's already a powerful telepath, right? But he can even drain telepathic power. Like drain your, like really, you don't need that power. Like you're too OP. Used a mental block on Juggernaut that disabled him from mentioning Onslaught. Can't even really warn nobody about him. Oh, of course, he can use magnetic abilities. Oh my goodness gracious. And if you want to know reference to how powerful Magneto is, more than likely Onslaught has his abilities to the max and even higher degree possibly. So check out my Magneto video I have on my page. It's in my How Strong playlist. So go ahead and check that out. Using Magneto's powers yet again, making an electromagnetic pulse. Thus far, you can already tell he's already a beast. I've already shown you a couple feats of him using magnetism. Not that he needs it. Haven't shown you his strength yet. Oh boy. I haven't even showed you, I showed you a little bit of his telepathic ability so far, but to get a better understanding of how strong he is, let's look up some feats from the characters that he's actually fused with. With that being said, let's look up a couple feats from Magneto just to get some reference on how powerful he is, and on top of the other characters that he's fused with, like Franklin Richards as well. Magneto is the same being that was able to restrain Rogue the same at the time she had Ms. Marvel's powers. Magneto is the same being that was able to destroy a Sentinel's head that was actually made of adamantium. Was kind of able to restrain Hercules into a rock cocoon, Hercules the god of strength, and toss him into the ocean doing so. Magneto has fought characters like Gamma beings like Red Hulk, briefly restrains him as well. Onslaught has the same abilities as this guy. Magneto is the same being that has been shown to mess people up by using their blood against him. Not to mention Magneto has his moments where he's been shown to use electricity, evidently. Just to give you an idea of how strong he was, I just had to list some of those. But oh my gosh. Professor X. Professor X is the same being that has been shown at times to be able to penetrate Juggernaut's helmet with his psionic abilities. Make like characters, aka Phoenix Force users, go to sleep. Like, are you kidding me? The entire crew. Characters like Namor have resistance, and he's amped. And Thor too. But he's able to do this to Thor too. Even Phoenix Force users cannot resist the mind control of Professor X. He just penetrates Phoenix Force users' powers. That's how you know Professor X is crazy. And Onslaught has this guy's abilities. He channels a whole bunch of people's minds into Ego's minds. Has even been able to show to incapacitate a Sentinel with his mind blast somehow. Even though they aren't alive or bioorganic, can even sense things from outside of the solar system. So yeah, he has that guy's powers as well. Oh, you think I'm done? That's a funny joke. Not to mention he has the powers of Nate Gray as well. He has the power of Magneto, Professor X, and now he has the power of this Omega level mutant known as Nate Gray. Are you kidding? No wonder Onslaught is the ultimate being of psionic energy. He literally has all the psionic kings in him. Nate Gray is a psionic king. Franklin Richards, freaking Professor X. Currently, Nate Gray is largely depowered, but in his absolute peak, he has done some crazy stuff. So if we assume Onslaught has this guy's abilities at his peak, gosh. They stated that his psionic abilities rival that of the Phoenix Force, but how though? Apocalypse respects his ability. Even Apocalypse said Nate Gray is one of the most potent forces on Earth. Apocalypse supposedly can quote unquote hang with Franklin Richards, whatever this means. They supposedly quote unquote can make anything happen. There's this point where he was kind of on some Phoenix Force level stuff, becoming pure energy. Not to mention it is confirmed that he's an Omega level mutant for sure. Even Professor X considers him one of the most powerful psionic beings. One of the few people that can manhandle Jean Grey herself in a psionic battle. Cable's a telepath himself, but Cable said out of 10, his abilities would be 15 when it comes to psionic abilities out of 10. Are you kidding? Okay, this is where he gets on some crazy stuff. Can exist evidently outside of reality? Are you freaking kidding me? Evidently he recreates Gwen Stacy. Can bend lasers around him. His psionic energy with just Nate Gray's power alone can evidently hurt godlike beings like the Hulk. Alright, I think you guys get the point. Yeah, the Onslaught is the ultimate psionic being. And gosh, I haven't even got to all the people that he has the powers of, and I'm still not freaking done. I mean, he can even drain psionic energy from all the telepaths in the room. Like, he literally did that. Like, that's crazy. So let me get this straight. Onslaught has the power of Magneto, a multi-solar system level being or solar system level, star level being, right, inside of his body, right, a fusion of him, and Professor X, a being that can shut down Sentinels with his mind somehow and pierce Juggernaut's armor at times and get inside his head at times. And he's the same being that has the power of Nate Gray inside him, a being that has created universes and continuums. And Franklin Richards on top. I don't even know if there's any point of me even showing you what Franklin Richards can do at this point. But I'm going to show you really quickly what Franklin Richards can do too. Oh my goodness, this dude Franklin Richards created entire universes and pocket universes as a kid. He's evidently even more powerful than characters like Mephisto in his own freaking realm. That's all I got to show y'all with Franklin Richards. Like I'm done. I'm done, guys. Like Onslaught has all these guys' powers. I mean, is there anything more I need to say? I mean, I got some more stuff for y'all, but oh my goodness gracious. Like, I'm just going to go over his strength right quick. Like, yeah, lowballing the living heck out of Onslaught. He's in the Skyfather Rangers, Universe Plus, multi-universal, whatever you want to call it, multi-universal level being. Nate Gray has been shown to create continuums. Freaking Franklin Richards can create continuums, can create universes. Nate Gray can create universes. Time stop. He is a psionic beast, a being of psionic energy, can create psionic constructs that can hurt godlike beings like the Hulk. Onslaught has all these abilities, and he seems to showcase all these abilities and more at Magneto and all these characters' abilities at once. I mean, even characters like Uta the Watchers that don't interfere with nothing. They respect freaking Onslaught. Don't know how he got these powers, but it's probably in between either Nate Gray or Franklin Richards. He can go invisible. For those people that are like this, well, just because he got all their powers in him doesn't mean he can do everything they can do, or is he exact equals to them. Well, I kind of sort of do agree. I do agree to some degree, but in these comics, he kind of went ballistic, and he has shown all the abilities that he supposedly does have himself. So him scaling to Franklin Richards and Nate Gray is plausible, because you're probably thinking, has he actually reality warped? Why, yes. Onslaught actually has reality warped. Did I mention when he actually got Franklin Richards inside of him? At first, he wasn't inside of him. He added him to his arsenal. So yeah, he used him as a battery. Like he said, get inside of me, and that's it. And evidently, Franklin Richards couldn't do nothing about it. Like, this is before, like, Franklin Richards couldn't get himself out of here. Like, guys, do you guys know what I'm saying? Like, Franklin Richards could not get himself out of Onslaught shell. This is before he got him in. Like, he only had Magneto and Professor X's power at this point. Onslaught is literally shown to be able to create holes in reality. Evidently kills all the X-Men with a reality warping blast. He even separated Banner and the Hulk into separate realities. Yeah, I am going to show the fight between him and Hulk, by the way. So he can kind of trap ridiculously powerful multi-solar system level beings like Juggernaut inside of his crystal, and they can't get out or do nothing. Can pull memories into other realities to serve his purpose. Like, what can he not do? Like, literally. So even time traveling into a different point in time where Onslaught exists causes other psychics to get traumatic psychic feedback. Like, that's like say I live in the year 3000 where Onslaught doesn't exist no more, right? And I travel back, like I'm a psionic being, and like say I'm Psylocke, right? And I travel to the time, during the war with Onslaught, right? I travel there with a time travel machine or something, right? And I'm a psychic person. Just traveling there is going to interrupt my psychic retina evidently and hurt me just because he's existing at that time period. Like, how though? He has to be universal, man. He can like siphon off energies on a universal scale, basically. Can possess others and use their minds as conduits for his teleportation. Like, how did they even ever beat this guy? Even my boy Hulk got possessed by freaking Onslaught. Yep, that's right. Hardly nobody can resist his like abilities. Actually crazy, being able to change him into different forms and everything. States here, wow, he's controlling the Hulk. Even has pinpoint control of him too. They even battle Cable and Hulk. Like, it's actually pretty crazy. Like, he's actually using the Hulk. His telepathy is that good. Like, he has complete control of the Hulk where he's battling Cable and he's using different forms of the Hulk, like on the fly. Like, he's like, oh, I'm just going to go Gray Hulk. I can just go Green Hulk. I can just go Super Saiyan 1. I can just go Super Saiyan 2. Yeah, it's on some stuff like that. Can override characters like Jean Grey's mind. Yeah, that's Juggernaut again. I showed this earlier. Yeah, one of the most powerful telepaths. He just overloaded her. You thought I was done? Oh, I'm going to show you some of his ridiculous strength. I mean, I shouldn't even have to show his strength at this point based on all the feats I've shown you doing reality warping and the fact he has all the abilities of Nate Gray and freaking Franklin Richards. I even showed you how he contained Franklin Richards, and Franklin Richards can even break out with his godlike power. Showing he was probably on par with Franklin Richards or higher at this point in time before he even got his power or put him inside of his psionic form. Like, it's bad. Like, literally the entire Fantastic Four try to fight Onslaught. Can't really do much to him. Like, literally taking on waves of heroes. Even takes a hit from characters like Bishop that is powered by Invisible Woman. Yeah, she's blasting Bishop to make him stronger, yet they still have trouble taking him down. He evidently allows Thor to break through his armor, and power evidently increased after this occasion. But this is still a feat for Thor, though. That's like actually pretty freaking incredible. Characters like Vision trying to phase into him to harm him from the inside out don't do nothing to him. Beings that are Thor level, like Juggernaut in his full powered mode, like just full powered Juggernaut in his normal states, he's completely shown to be able to physically just manhandle characters like Juggernaut, overpower him, puncture his skin, and like literally get the Crimson Diamond out of Juggernaut, completely depowering him. Like, that's freaking broken. Anybody that can treat Juggernaut like a joke like this should be respected with absolute caution. Like, this is scary, guys. Got slung all the way across North America. Yeah, he got tossed. Magneto, you should have known better. He has all your abilities. He physically and manually opens the portal of the negative zone with his bare hands and pulls himself through. That's just strength and willpower too. His size and form even grows the more psionic energy he absorbs. So, in my opinion, it would be smart to not fight this guy with psionic people. Like, you need to take all the psionic people and just not fight them. Like, Jean, you need to go somewhere. Psylocke, you need to go somewhere. Professor X, y'all got to go. Y'all just going to make him even more of a threat and make him physically stronger. Like, that's not a good thing. Onslaught is one of those few people that we have seen be able to slug it out with a completely mindless Hulk. Like, a being, we consider Savage Hulk and Juggernaut to be comparable with each other, right? So obviously, Savage Hulk couldn't beat him right in this storyline, but the only reason he was able to slug it out with Onslaught was that Banner actually had to get separated from the Hulk thanks to Jean Grey, and that's when they kind of went at it. It's kind of a feat for Hulk to be able to hang with somebody on this level, though. Somebody that has Franklin Richards' ability and freaking Nate Gray's ability and freaking Professor X and Magneto. Like, goodness gracious, this guy's so far beyond Universal, it shouldn't even be a joke, and unless Hulk's able to hang in there somehow. Completely slugs it out with Hulk, getting good hits on the Hulk, like sending him flying a few times and everything. Hulk is one of the few people in this comic to actually be able to fight him one-on-one at this point in time, though. but get a point in time where he was able to hold down the Hulk for a little while. He's one of those characters, man. He's so versatile, dude, thanks to have reality warping ability from Franklin Richards and freaking Nate Gray and psionic energy from Professor X and Nate Gray and Franklin Richards. But he can slug it out fist style, as you've seen with Hulk there, and it's shown here as well. Like, he can just straight up slug it out, which is actually what makes him scary. Like, ugh. Drag other telepaths like Jean Grey to the astral plane. He might actually be the king of telepaths, like psionic entities wise. Actually seems unstoppable. Like, he's overpowered every psionic person I can think of in these issues or in these fights with the X-Men. The people he even possesses allows him to manifest new powers, man. Just beat this dude before he takes over more people's bodies, guys. Even break through the mental barriers of people that have mental barrier defenses. Like, oh my gosh, how do you keep this guy out of your head? This dude, Onslaught, has been defeated, but man, it took some crazy amounts of teamwork, prep time, and everybody being on the right move. But even then, it feels like a fluke, but there's a lot of characters, though, I'm not going to lie. World War III up in here for sure. I wonder if we would see Onslaught in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That would be something I would love to actually see, honestly. Onslaught is one of those cases where it's almost like he only lost because of plot. Realistically speaking, I don't think the heroes that fought him or beat him together have the means to end him for good. He's a being of pure psionic energy that manifests in the physical form. But like I said before, it seemed like he would just be able to reality warp them all out of existence, or just trap somebody in them in another universe or something, right? He has too many abilities for him to just not spam it. And it didn't seem like it had any limits either. Like, I'm a little confused on how they won, but whatever. Having the power of Franklin Richards, a being that can smash Celestials, the same being Franklin Richards cannot get out of Onslaught's shell. Freaking the same being, freaking Franklin Richards is the same being that made Galactus his hero while he was well fed. Galactus has destroyed multiple galaxies in fist fights, same with characters like Tyrant. It's heavily implied that Onslaught has these characters' abilities to their max, or at least equals, but put together. Like, I would say Onslaught does have the full capabilities of Franklin Richards based on all the stuff we've seen, other than PIS or whatever. And I've seen, with the feats of Nate Gray, he seems to have those same abilities too. Seems to have the same abilities of Franklin Richards. Seemed to be able to overpower Franklin Richards before he even had the power of Franklin Richards in his body. But then he used Franklin Richards' power to make himself stronger. Psionic beings make him even stronger. So it's like, how did he lose again? I mean, for Pete's sake, he's even regenerated from having his essence scattered across the universe. And just for those that are sleeping on Juggernaut, like Juggernaut has a lot of low ballers. For those that are sleeping on Juggernaut, Juggernaut is the same being that got in a straight up slugfest with War Hulk. So yeah, Onslaught curb stomping him like that is actually pretty freaking insane when you think about how strong the Hulk is and the freaking crazy inanimate object feats that the Hulk has. Even though I would not scale Juggernaut to War Hulk because War Hulk was holding back, but still. Not to mention, Juggernaut is one of those few people, shocking, right? He's one of the few people that actually has knocked out the Hulk in the past. Even if, yeah, it was Professor Hulk, but still, Juggernaut actually has a legit knockout on the Hulk. But guys, that is just about going to do it. Onslaught is absolutely insane. Hope you guys learned something new about Onslaught. A lot of the stuff you probably already knew, you might have didn't, based on the fact I already have a Magneto video out. You probably didn't know that stuff about Professor X, why I went over some of their feats to give you some perspective on how crazy Onslaught was. For those that don't believe in scaling, I did actually show Onslaught do those feats that Nate Gray, Franklin Richards, and Magneto has shown, showing that he does have that power to a full degree. And based on how he fought the heroes and fought waves and waves and waves of heroes, it definitely does seem like he is equals to them. It's not like he has Franklin Richards' power at 1% or 2%. It seems like he has their powers to the highest percent you can think of, being a universal level being plus multi-universal being, the way you want to say it. I mean, Nate Gray has been shown to create entire continuities or universes. Franklin Richards does the same thing as a kid, playing in playtime, making Galactus his hero. Like, it's like you cannot underestimate Onslaught, man. It's almost like I'm convinced I don't even understand how these heroes won. To be real with you, like, if I'm being honest, I don't know how the heroes won. It might be actually plot in this one. I don't like making up plot as an excuse for every time the heroes win, but it really doesn't really make that much sense when you realize how did the heroes actually win. But what do you guys think? Did you guys learn something new? Did you guys enjoy this? Did you guys like Onslaught? Do you guys think he's overpowered? Do you think he's written terribly? Do you think he's written good? Would you want to see him in the live action movies? Post what you want to say about this below. Make sure you check out the description below for playlists like this. I do a lot of videos about how strong characters are, not just Onslaught, but a lot of other characters from DC, Marvel, anime coming soon, and a lot of different stuff. So please stay tuned to my channel. Hope this is not the last video I see you on. Make sure you post some comments, and make sure you check out the description below for links to affiliate marketing links for the gear I use and stuff. And I think you would like DVDs, movies, headphones, whatever, that I would highly suggest that you use. I mean, just give it a look, of course. But regardless, I still love that you're here on my channel, giving me love, feedback. Any feedback is good feedback. Like, talk to me. I'll reply and stuff like that. Don't be afraid to ask a question. But make sure you guys post your comments down below. Let me know what you all think. I'll see you guys next time. Respect Onslaught, Magneto, Professor X, Franklin Richards, and Nate Gray Fusion. Yeah. It's nothing to be trifled with. I'll see you guys next time.